Well, then let's go to the next canto, Canto 2, Satyavan. See, again it opens very metaphysically, the canto. All she remembered on this day of fate, on this day of fate, all she remembered. Satyavan, and see, human Savitri is moving from place to place unknowingly. But now the whole atmosphere is such that she is going to remember what had happened in the earlier stages. In the earlier stages, she's going to remember that. All she remembered, a kind of a memory flashes back. The psychic memory opens out, and then she sees what had happened earlier. And in other words, Satyavan and Savitri are not meeting here for the first time. They have been meeting from time to time. Age after age, they have been coming and meeting. Now, this is a meeting which is going to prove to be decisive. That this time their meeting will bear fruit. The grip of death which is there around Satyavan, it is that grip which will loosen in this particular birth, in their particular appearance now here. And therefore the entire history kind of flashes in front of her. Yes, we have been meeting here. This is the place. This is the time we have been coming together and meeting here all along. All she remembered on this day of fate. Now this day of fate is a very powerful phrase. It's a very simple English. Day of fate. It is the day when they are going to meet. After 1 year of traveling, etc., etc., Satyavan does not know what is going to happen next moment. As usual, he is going in the morning for his work, and suddenly the day of fate, he sees some girl there, and matter is over. You see, so day of fate is not only from the point of view of their meeting, but also the day of fate which is to come exactly 1 year after this meeting. They will meet here today, but the real day of fate will occur exactly 1 year after this meeting. It is on this day of fate Satyavan will die. On this day and where he will die? At the destined place. The place has been destined, the day is fixed. At this place he is going to die 1 year after their meeting. Day of fate. All she remembered on this day of fate. The road that hazarded to solemn depths but turned away to flee to human home. This is what we have seen last time, how Savitri goes through a narrow road. Through a narrow road, they come and meet together, you see. That's a narrow road, you see. And then what happens? Savitri sees this place as a wicket gate. As if a wicket gate to joy was there. As if a wicket gate to joy was there. So this meeting, this whole place, Savitri has entered this forest and it is a wicket gate. Wicket gate of joy, wicket gate of joy. Wicket gate is a personal gate, a private gate in a big house by which the owner moves freely into the garden or steps into the house. You see, wicket gate, small gate in a big door, you see. It is, there is a description in the Bible about this wicket gate. At the wicket gate begins the straight and narrow King's highway. King, the Supreme, the Lord. At the wicket gate begins the straight and narrow King's highway. It is from here you step into the world of the Supreme, into the world of the Lord, through the wicket gate. So Savitri is going to march through this wicket gate and enter into the house of the Lord, into the house of the King. It is through that she is going to enter. In fact, this is exactly what will happen 1 year after the event here, that Savitri will cut a door to the void and enter into the transcendent. There she will meet the Supreme Himself. There she will meet the Supreme Himself. And then she will receive the boons from the Supreme. That is what we have in the 11th book, the book of everlasting day. Savitri has vanquished death. She has cut a door through the void and entered into the transcendental realms. It is that wicket gate Savitri is seeing now here in the forest at this point. And then, of course, we have here the forest, hidden in the forest bosom of lowliness, 102.3, hidden in the forest bosom of lowliness, amid the leaves the intimate voices called, sweet like desires, enamored and unseen, cry, answering to low, insistent cry. That is the answer she gets from there. See. And then there is the description of the whole place, nature, and then there is a description of Satyavan has not yet come on the scene, but what is going to happen, that is what the poet is describing about Satyavan. Satyavan, a weapon of the living light, 102.9, a weapon of the living light, noble and clear, and then his look was a wide daybreak of the God. I am reading from 102.8 onward, you see, just a quick phrases. His look was a wide daybreak of the gods. His head was a youthful rishis touched with light. His body was a lover's and a king. And then in her divine communion he had grown. In her divine communion, Satyavan had grown in the divine communion of nature. Her stands here for nature. A foster child of beauty and solitude. That is how he had grown up here. He came to the forest there when his father was driven out from the kingdom at a very tender age, maybe 6, 7 years old. And he is in the company of nature that he grew up. And he is, of course, the brother of the sunshine and the sky. And then the mastery free nature's hand was his, because he has grown up there. So he had the full command over all these things. And then, after that little description of Satyavan, as seen by the poet, as if it is, he sees Satyavan elsewhere, and he describes, yes, it is this man which is up there, he is going to meet now Savitri. Savitri has not seen anything, nobody is there on the scene at all, but the poet is imagining, is showing that, look, it is this person who is going to come now to this particular spot here, and they are going to meet here. The master, that day he had turned from his accustomed path, 102.8. Normally he would go early morning to the forest for his work, but instead of taking the usual path, this particular day he had taken some other path. Turned from his accustomed path for one who, knowing every moment's load, had cast a spell on his steps. See, it is somebody else who is making him to take another path. He would have normally gone like this, but today he is going like this. Some spell has been cast on his foot, and he is going like that today. Now he says, the one who, knowing every moment, because somebody else is watching. As I said, there are three in the transcendent. Every moment is being watched here, and is being worked out here. Somebody is watching from there, and it is going to happen here. Now this one who, knowing every moment's load. This is exactly that one we had been seeing, in the last section of this book, 105.7. Because one is watching what these people are going to do here. And here, 105.7, Savitri has met Satyavan. They had joined together, and Savitri says that now I must go back and inform my father that I had chosen my life's partner. She has to go back to the father's place. And then she says, for soon I shall return, nor ever again. Oneness must, Savior is recovered with oneness of being to, that one is watching that thing. If that one is going to keep us away for whatever reasons it be, it is he who will decide that. Here, oneness has brought them together here. One who knowing every moment has brought them together. Possibly that one could also say that, no, this is not the moment, this is not the time for you to be together. You have to wait for some time, you have to separate for a while. It is possible that way. So Savitri is keeping that kind of an option open to the divine. Yes, you can decide whether it should be now or it should be later on. And she says, oneness must severe is recovered. Yes, we have recovered the place, but it is possible that oneness might decide something else, and we may have to be separate from each other for a while. You see, it's possible. So that oneness is working everywhere in that sense, you see. And then we have here Savitri is driving a chariot and seeing all the sceneries and beautiful places and all around, but she is indifferent. She has been traveling, she has been seeing this kind of a thing for months and months, nothing was happening. Possibly the same thing might happen today also. Possibly. So she's going like that, you see, from place. At first her glance that took life's million shape. Well, indifferently she's watching the trees, flowers, plants, everything all that. It might happen today also, possibly, you see. And then later on, when she looks at this man, this boy walking there in front of her, something happens in her. And then we have got 102.25. Her vision settled. She was looking everywhere around indifferently. Among many boys, this is another one. But no, her vision settled, caught, and all was changed. That is the decisive moment which has taken place. She has seen this person there in front of her now. Her vision settled, caught, and all was changed. Her mind at first dwelled in idea. But how did it happen? How it happened? Because in the previous line, she might have passed by on chance ignorant roads, missing the call of heaven, losing life's aim. But the God touched in time, and her vision settled. It is Savitri who is seized by the presence of this person. It is not Satyavan, but Savitri who has decided, yes, this is the one. Satyavan, he is going for his daily work. Perhaps he would have just walked away also, had Savitri not taken the initiative and stopped there. But it is Savitri's vision which settled. It is Savitri's decision which has come into picture. Yes, this has to be here only, this person only, this person only. All in a moment of surprise and see. Suddenly, that moment is arrived. 102.28. All in a moment of surprise and see. All in inconscient ecstasy, lain, wrapped. And then what happens? Savitri is driving a chariot, and suddenly then, 102.33, who's trampling fast, the horses, the chariot wheels rolling, largely she stumbling, she says, halt, stopped. The chariot stopped, she suddenly see. Who's trampling fast, wheels largely stumbling, see, the chariot stood like an arrested wind. And Satyavan looked out from his soul's doors. Suddenly again something has happened in him, and it was the rose restored. And he felt the enchantment of a liquid voice. Savitri has not spoken a word, nobody has spoken a word, but he feels as if somebody is speaking to him. The enchantment of the liquid voice is what he sees here. See? And then it goes on like that. 102.41. He met in her regard, in her vision. He met in her regard his future's gaze. What the future lies for him tomorrow, that he sees in her gaze. He met in her regard a promise and a presence and a fire, saw an embodiment of Ionic dream. Yes, this is what how my dream will materialize here, will get realized here. A mystery or the rapture for which all years in this world of brief mortality, made in material shape, his very own. So he has seen something has happened in him also, that in her the whole future lies. He sees in the entire future. But now to what extent, that he has not revealed yet. Neither Satyavan is aware of it, nor the poet is going to tell us what is going to be the future. The poet is holding back what kind of future Satyavan is visualizing for him in the company of Savitri. That information, that detail, the poet is holding back from us. The yogi is keeping back from us. He met in a regard his future's gaze. Future's gaze for what? What is expected of that? That is not given to us immediately. But then we have some little idea of it. He says, how this happened? Because there is a power within that knows beyond our knowings. It is that power which works. I am reading 102.47. There is a power within that knows beyond our knowings. It is that power which keeps on working all the while. And then the most epigrammatic line, to live, to love, a science of infinite things. To live, to love, a science of infinite things. That is the mantric line. That is the mantra of life. To live, to love, a sign of infinite things. And then we have here 102.57, Satyavan and Savitri. Okay, let's read the last three sentences on speed. Too far from the divine, love seeks his truth, and life is blind, and the instruments are deceived, and powers are there that labor to debase. There are powers which will disfigure you. Still can the vision come, the joy arrive. Then rare is the cup fit for love's nectar wine. This is the most powerful line. Rare is the cup fit for love's nectar wine. Here is Satyavan. He is holding love's nectar wine. And to hold love's nectar wine, one has to be really exceptional. It has to be somebody very rare. And Satyavan is that rare being who is capable of holding the wine of nectar, of love in his soul. And then he says, in fact, as rare the vessel that can hold God's birth. A soul made ready through 1,000 years for being ready to hold the wine of love, the nectar of love. The soul has to go through 1,000 years period and get ready to hold that wine. A soul made ready through 1,000 years is the living mode of a supreme descent. When the soul becomes ready, then the supreme descent takes place. In other words, this is the destined meeting place. This is the destined hour. This is the destined event which is now planned over a period of 1,000 years. That this has to happen now. Over a period of 1,000 years, this has happened now. Yes, everything has now kind of conspired together for it to happen, to materialize, to get effected, you see. In the living mode, a soul made ready through 1,000 years. That is Satyavan's preparation over ages and ages for this to happen. And he is now in a position to hold that wine which Savitri can drink. And then when they meet, we have the last sentence here. A moment passed, they have seen each other, they are not talked with each other yet. They are just kind of seen each other eye to eye. A moment passed, that was eternity's ray. So that is the miraculous thing. That moment of their coming and gazing into each other's eyes is a ray of eternity. The light of eternity has entered into their sight. It is that sight, that ray which is communicating between eye and eye. A moment passed, that was eternity's ray, and then an hour began, the matrix of new time. From this moment onward, they have met, they have gazed into each other. And now from this moment onward, new time begins, new creation begins. This is the moment, this is the decisive thing which has happened here.